Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be breaking down backstroke. Drills, technique, kicking, pulling, everything you need to know in order to swim backstroke correctly. If you've watched any of my videos before, you will know that the number one thing on any stroke is body position. I would strongly recommend for you to master this before going on to any advanced techniques or drills, because body position is what's going to allow you to move through the water correctly. The best and the easiest way to practice your body position on backstroke is to simply float on your back. If you've never done backstroke before and you don't feel confident putting your ears in the water, feel free to use a noodle or a kickboard. Make sure your eyes are looking up, you are trying your best to push your belly up to the surface, and your ears are in the water. Your goal is to get every part of your body right up to the surface of the water. Some of you might very quickly find that your legs will start to sink, which is absolutely normal. Being able to float is completely individual from person to person. Just try to float on your back for 5 to 10 seconds whilst trying to maintain a nice flat body position. Once you're able to float, the next step is to simply add in some kicking. Now you have to remember that everything else has to stay exactly the same. Ears in the water, eyes looking up, belly right up to the surface. Place both arms by your side and introduce some very gentle kicking. Kicking technique on backstroke is exactly the same as it is on freestyle. Make sure you are kicking from your hip, you are not bending your knees, keeping your ankles nice and relaxed, and pointing your toes. Always remember, your goal is to focus on frequency rather than power. Your legs must stay nice and relaxed whilst kicking nice and fast. Once again, if you are struggling to do this without any flotation aids, feel free to use a noodle to wrap around your back or hold a kickboard right on your chest to help you float. It is also very important to note that the more you tense up, the harder this is going to be. When swimming any stroke or just trying to float, it is very important to keep your body as relaxed as possible. As soon as you become stiff and start to tense up, you'll notice how your body will start to sink straight away. Therefore, always remember, your body has to stay relaxed. Now, back to your kicking. When kicking, your face must stay completely dry and no water should be going over it. So if you find yourself with water going over your face, your body position is incorrect, meaning you have to go back to step number 1, practice your floating before proceeding onto your kicking. You should be able to kick in a nice flat body position for at least 25 meters before thinking about adding in your arms. If you really want to challenge yourself, feel free to place a cup or a bottle on your forehead whilst kicking on your back and see if you can make the 25 meters kicking that way. This will really challenge your body position and allow you to move onto arms quicker and make it easy for you in the future. So now let's move on to your backstroke arms. The two most important things you have to make sure you do when doing backstroke arms are making sure your pinky enters the water first and your arm stays nice and straight. Backstroke is actually one of the easiest strokes to master if you simply follow these steps. A lot of swimmers and coaches like to overcomplicate things, which makes things a lot harder to learn and a lot harder to do. So make sure as your arm is coming over the water, your arm stays completely straight, and as your arm enters the water, your pinky goes into the water first. To make things a little bit easier, you can practice with one arm at a time before going into both arms. The chances are you'll find it quite difficult as you now have to focus on your legs and your arms at the same time. If you are struggling, feel free to use fins to help you maintain a flat body position whilst you are thinking about your arms. Once you are able to use one arm at a time, you can now move on to using both. The number one thing that you must understand when using both arms on backstroke at the same time is that they have to work simultaneously. This means one arm goes at the top, one arm goes at the bottom. As soon as one arm goes in, the other arm has to come out at the same time. One of the biggest mistakes swimmers make is trying to swim backstroke with arms pausing by their side. In order to be able to maintain a nice flat body position, your arms have to move simultaneously without any stopping. Now, simultaneously and continuously does not mean fast. Therefore, don't think your arms have to be spinning around very quickly in order for you to swim correct backstroke. Just make sure your arms are continuous without any stopping at any point. If you have followed those simple steps, your backstroke will already be pretty good. However, if you are looking to take things on to the next step and you're looking for some advanced techniques, we are now going to break down those. The first one being your underwater pull. The number one rule in swimming is to remember that straight arm is always going to be weaker than a bent arm. Meaning when you pull the water on backstroke, you want to make sure you have a slight bend in your elbow. So you must avoid pulling with a straight arm at all times. And the second thing which you have to make sure you do when pulling the water is thinking about the position of your palm and where it is facing. This is another thing I've broken down in my freestyle video, but it also applies to backstroke. Meaning if you want to go forward, you have to push the water backwards. Your palm should be facing down at your feet as you're pulling the water in order to maximize propulsion. As soon as you allow your palm to face the wrong direction, whether that's up to the side, you'll find swimmers moving side to side or bobbing up and down, which is obviously something we do not want. And moving on to the most important aspect of front crawl and backstroke, which is your rotation. Now on front crawl, rotation allows you to pull more water and increase your distance per stroke. On backstroke, rotation does something different. It allows you to achieve a deeper, stronger pull. Without getting too scientific, the water on the surface is not as dense as the water close to the bottom of the pool. Therefore, the deeper you pull, the more propulsion you are going to get as you are pulling the water with more rotation. The simplest way to practice rotation is to simply do it outside of the water. Your goal is to rotate your whole body without moving your head and aim to get your chin in line with your shoulder. Once you are comfortable doing this, you can take this into the pool and just do soldier position with both arms by your side, doing the same rotational movement, whilst of course maintaining a nice flat body position. The number one drill I would suggest for you to do if you are looking to take your backstroke to the next level is the 3-second switch, which involves you getting into your rotated position with one arm at the top, one arm at the bottom, holding that position for 3 seconds before switching arms and holding for 3 seconds once again. This drill is great as it allows you to focus on your body position, making sure both of your arms are working simultaneously, and of course your rotation. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next video.